today I'm going to take just a little bit, probably going to be a 15-minute video. Going to talk a little bit about the Indianapolis Colts. That's right, my team. I haven't spent a whole lot of time talking about them, but today we're going to spend the entire time talking about the Indianapolis Colts and what I think they should do in the draft, what I'm hoping for, kind of my expectations for the season, just a little bit here and there. First off, I'm pretty excited about the new head coach, Frank Reich. If anybody knows me personally, I was not a big Chuck Pagano fan. I think the guy is a phenomenal human being, and towards the end he was absolutely hilarious during press conferences. But as a coach, I don't think he's a very good coach. I don't think he's a very good defensive coordinator. I wish him all the best. I'm glad he survived cancer. Let me tell you, as a Colts fan in 2012, that was probably one of the most fun seasons I've ever had as a Colts fan. Not just because of our success in the first year of Andrew Luck and the way that Bruce Arians commanded that team, but just the whole thing with Chuck Pagano, the whole Chuck Strong movement. I think that was just awesome, how the team and really the whole state of Indiana and the city of Indianapolis just came together, and all Colts Nation around the world came together, and it felt like one big family in support for Chuck Pagano, because at that time he was our new head coach. Ryan Grigson was the new general manager. Just all in all, this is a total thing. It's a total team. It just felt like one big happy family. We were all rooting for the same goal. Not so much even a Super Bowl, even though it was pretty awesome to even be able to go to the playoffs that year after going 2-14. But just being able to really be there for one another. Not so much in the sense where we're taking care of each other, but knowing that we all were pushing for the same goal, I guess to say. Where Chuck Pagano was everybody was hoping that Chuck Pagano would come through. We had leukemia and was going through the process of going through his chemotherapy and everything like that. It was just cool to see how all of Colts Nation just kind of bonded together with one ultimate goal, which was, football was an important thing, but it made us all realize that it's not the most important thing. Being able to have Chuck Pagano back for that run, I think it was a big deal for the entire fan base and for the entire team. Just as a whole, I think it was pretty awesome. But again, like I said, not a big Chuck Pagano guy as a coach, but as a person, as a human being, from what I can see, he's a pretty stand-up guy, a pretty respectable guy. And I have nothing but good things to say about him from that standpoint, but his offensive schemes and his defensive schemes just weren't cutting it here in Indianapolis. So it was time for a change. We've been struggling for the past couple of years, and last year we were the worst team in the fourth quarter. At one point, I think we were being outscored like 400 and some points to a little over 100. And it was kind of embarrassing. Like me and TheFett talked about the one day. I believe it was me and TheFett. Or you know what? It was me and my buddy Christian were talking about it. We made Deshaun Kaiser look like a superstar against the Colts here at the very end of the end of the season. Or at the end of the fourth quarter, I should say. Sorry about that. But even Deshaun Kaiser, who had a terrible, terrible season for the Cleveland Browns, just as a whole, just looked truly amazing against the Colts defense in that fourth quarter. And I still don't understand why. I still don't understand why we just completely fell apart that game. But then it continued the whole rest of the season. And not only could we not score any points, but we couldn't stop anybody. And at that point, it was just kind of getting frustrating as a fan, knowing, hey, we're going into this winning. Jacoby Brissett's doing a great job, but the game's probably going to not go in our favor. We're probably going to end up losing this game. That's kind of what happened more often than not. That's why we had the third pick in the draft and ultimately traded that to go back down to 6. But I'm truly excited for Frank Reich. What he did with Nick Foles last year speaks for itself. Being able to take a guy who I think is an average quarterback. I don't think he's terrible, but I also don't think he's a very good quarterback, even though he just won the Super Bowl and had just an amazing run. I think that's more of a testament to Frank Reich's offense and, of course, Doug Peterson as well over there in Philly. But I'm very excited to have Frank Reich's offense. I'm very excited to have more of an up-tempo offense and just a good football mind in general. Somebody who's going to be calling the plays. And as much as I like Rob Chudzinski, just not a very good play caller. More of a vertical threat guy. We need to be able to run the ball a little bit more, run the ball effectively, whereas our running game wasn't really very good last year. It was towards the bottom of the barrel in terms of yards per carry. But you know what? it is what it is. That regime's gone. The scheme where the blocking for run offense just didn't make very much sense. That's all gone. We're getting a reboot, which is great. Andrew Luck is going to be in OTAs today for the very first meeting of the year, which is going to be great. He's going to be talking. He's going to get interviewed, talk to the media, all that fun stuff. It's very good to know that he's throwing the football. As a Colts fan, we've been struggling the past couple of years without our quarterback. Luckily, we had Jacoby Brissett come in here and be a pretty decent quarterback. But even though he didn't get a lot of wins, I don't think it was a whole lot was on him. Considering we led the league in giving up sacks on the floor, guy got sacked 52 times. Yeah, 52 times. 52 times this poor guy was sacked. So I think Jacoby Brissett did a great job. Do I think he's going to start a quarterback? Not really. But if you ever need somebody to come in there and fill a void for an injury or in case something crazy happens, I think he's a good quarterback to have. He's going to stabilize the offense. He's not going to turn the ball over a whole lot. He's going to put you in a position to win, but maybe doesn't have the talent to get you over that hump. So I think Jacoby Brissett's going to be a great backup and a great asset to have. But we're still waiting for Andrew Luck to get 100% healthy. I do like the addition of Matt Lawson. I'm glad we re-signed Jack Newport here this year. Just looking forward to the season. I'm not expecting anything great this year. I'm expecting more than 3 wins, obviously more than 4 wins. I've talked about it before. I'm expecting that the Colts could possibly win the AFC South. Just with the way that things are going, I think Jacksonville's going to take a step back. Just because I don't trust Blake Bortles. I think that defense is going to be something amazing and something special to look out for. But I also don't think that Blake Bortles is a playoff quarterback or even a Super Bowl winning quarterback. And I think just for that reason, Jacksonville's going to take a step back. Their defense is obviously amazing. That's why they're called Saxonville for a reason. So I'm not so concerned much about Jacksonville's defense from a Jacksonville standpoint as I would be their offense. As a Colts fan, I'm much more worried about their defense than them being able to put points up. But I don't think Tennessee's going to do very good this year. Marcus Mariota's always hurt. He's always hurt. So I'm not too concerned about Marcus Mariota. Not too concerned about their offense or even their defense, really. Although Mike Vrabel going there as their head coach, I think that's going to help improve them over the long run. So I think his very first year he's going to have his work cut out for him. And I think they're going to struggle this year. I think they're going to end up needing to get a new quarterback here very soon because I'm not a big Marcus Mariota fan. And I don't think he's going to be that good of a quarterback here in the NFL. Not to say he doesn't deserve a chance coming out of college because he was one of the best college quarterbacks coming out that year. But I just don't think his game translates, and it's showing just because he's hurt all the time. Not so much his stats because when he gets on the field, he's actually pretty solid. He's not terrible. But there's a thing. He's not always on the field. You can say the same thing with Andrew Luck, that he's not always on the field. But at least with Andrew Luck, when he's on the field, you know you're probably going to be pushing the playoffs. You're probably going to be pushing winning the division, which is why I think the Colts have a good shot at winning it this year. I don't think we're going to do absolutely anything in the playoffs. Don't mishear me. I don't think we're going to go very far at all. If we make the playoffs winning the division, we're going to get bounced in the first round. We might even lose to one of the wild cards. We might skate by a wild card. Might. I give it maybe a 3% chance if everybody's healthy, if Andrew Luck's healthy. If Andrew Luck can be the Andrew Luck of old, there's still a good chance because Andrew Luck is that talented of a quarterback and that good of a quarterback that he's able to elevate a team beyond their capabilities. For example, 2012, that same team had just went 2-14, and then all of a sudden we went 11-5, 10-6. I believe we went 10-6. It was either 10-6 or 11-5. I don't have it right in front of me. But either way, not a great team, but a pretty solid team with a rookie quarterback that was just special. Obviously, we had that special year that I've already talked about, but that's how good Andrew Luck can be, and that's how important Andrew Luck is to this team. No matter what other pieces we get, no matter what other pieces we draft, Andrew Luck is the key, and he's the engine, and he's everything. He's going to be everything to the Indianapolis Colts' future. I'm very, like I said it before, I'm very excited for Matt Lawson getting here. Didn't give up one sack last year. Gave up like 4 quarterback hurries. We need that kind of veteran and that kind of offensive lineman to be able to turn this offensive line around and get it going to where it's supposed to be at. I also think we missed the boat on Andrew Norwell. I really, really wish Chris Ballard would have spent some money on him. I know Chris Ballard's MO is to not overspend on free agents, and I get that to a point. I'm all for building through the draft. I'm all for his vision for the Colts. I trust in Ballard 100%. I just wish we would have got Andrew Norwell to shore up that offensive line. So hopefully at 6, I'm really hoping the Colts don't trade back. I'll get to that here in a little bit, seeing as we're already coming up on the 11-minute mark here in just a little bit. So I don't want to stay here too much longer. But going back to what I said, Andrew Luck's going to be the most important piece. We don't really have the best weapons outside of T.Y. Hilton and Jack Doyle. Picking up Eric Ebron was huge, I think. So now we have a little bit more weapons. We're still missing out on a running game. Frank Gore has left us to go to Miami, which, if you're a Colts fan, we all knew Frank Gore was not going to stay one more season in Indianapolis. He just wasn't happy. When we first signed him, I was excited about it. I thought it was going to be a great addition to the team, and he was. From a character standpoint, from a leadership standpoint, he was fantastic. It just didn't work between the two. It is what it is. He came onto the Colts thinking he was going to be the next piece that we needed. We brought him on thinking the exact same thing. He was the piece that we needed. We finally got a run game for Andrew Luck, and Andrew Luck just hasn't been able to play with him. And we kind of wasted a couple years with Frank Gore. But hey, I was glad to have him when we had him. He did solidify that running game for us for the past 3 years. And I wish him nothing but the best down in Miami. I hope that's where he gets to finish his career, seeing as that's where he went to college, down at the U. No hard feelings towards Frank Gore. I wish him luck the rest of his career down in Miami. I hope he has a great career, too. I hope he's able to help Miami turn that thing around. Thing is, that is my fiance's team, so I would be good in the household, let's say, when we get married next month, for the Dolphins to be a successful team and not a joke of an organization that they've been the past couple years. So let's go to the draft for the last couple minutes here. Currently, we stand at 6. Now, when the trade came down, when we traded from 3, I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty furious about it. Most people in the Colts Nation were pretty excited about the trade. We got a lot of assets back. Now we now have 3 second-round picks. Here's the reason why I was upset with the trade. You have almost a can't-miss talent in Bradley Chubb, going to be able to fall to you right at 3. The Browns and the Giants are going to take a quarterback. Browns for sure, quarterback. Giants, I'm pretty darn certain they're going to take a quarterback. I think everything else the Giants are throwing up there is just a smokescreen. I think the Giants are taking quarterback at 2. Now it'll left you in perfect position to add somebody just alongside Javal Sheard and just be able to eat up on the defensive line. Give you more time for that secondary that's still young and developing. That's very talented, but still needs time to grow in the NFL. Malik Hooker coming back off of injury, I think having a solid pass rush would have been huge. Now, if somehow Bradley Chubb skips past the Browns at 4 and he lands back up at 6, it's going to look like the heist of the century, because then we still got our guy. We still got 2 more second-round picks on top of it. It will look like a great trade. The trade itself, in all reality, is not that bad. I personally just wish we could have had Bradley Chubb on our team, where it looks like he's going to go to Cleveland, which for Cleveland, Cleveland is going to have a very good defensive line if they take Bradley Chubb. If they do not take Bradley Chubb at 4, I think they are fools. I think it would just be completely ridiculous for them not to take Bradley Chubb at 4, to pair with Myles Garrett and Emmanuel Ogbah. But going back to the Colts, at 6, Bradley Chubb is not going to be there. I can't even get my hopes up for it as much as I would absolutely love for him to be there. He's just not going to be there. So now I'm really, really hoping for Quentin Nelson. Reason being, we're going to need another guard. We're going to need to shore up that offensive line to keep Andrew Luck healthy. It's not a sexy pick. It's not a pick that's going to be an impact player in the stat sheet. But whatever we have to do to keep Andrew Luck up, to keep Andrew Luck healthy. If you can run Anthony Costanzo as the left tackle. You can run Quentin Nelson at the left guard. You can run Ryan Kelly at the center. You can run Matt Flosson at the right guard. That's 4 positions that are locked up, at least for this year. Then we can find either a replacement for Matt Flosson if he decides to move on or retires, seeing if he is 33, or even resign Flosson if he would like to come back, and then be able to find his young up-and-comer guard to replace him when the time comes. And at right tackle, you can put in a couple different people there. Denzel Good. You can even draft a right tackle if you really needed to. But right tackle I'm not too concerned with at the moment. We can really plug and play somebody there, and anybody will do a pretty decent job. So I think you can draft one in like the 3rd round or even with one of the 2nd rounders and have your right tackle solidified for a while. So I think if the Colts can take Quentin Nelson at 6, even though it's not Bradley Chubb, it's still the safest pick in the draft. It's still going to help keep Andrew Luck healthy. It's going to be able to help that offensive line out huge in a very, very big way. So I don't think it'll be a terrible pick. Actually, I don't think it'd be a bad pick at all. I think it'd be a very good pick. Just not the guy I personally wanted at the top of my favorite board here. But I still would not be disappointed. Quentin Nelson is at 6. Obviously, I won't be as happy as if Bradley Chubb would be there at 6, but I also won't be very upset either, considering it's going to fix our offensive line and help us for the foreseeable future. Him and Ryan Kelly will be young. We'll be able to have them for the next 10 years on the offensive line. So it'll all work itself out. But I do trust in Chris Ballard. If the Colts have Andrew Luck this year, I think the Colts can win 9-10 games and possibly be pushing for the division. And if not the division, pushing for a wild card spot. If they don't have Andrew Luck this year, which let's pray to God that Andrew Luck is healthy and he's ready to play this year. But if he's not, we're going to be looking at another 2-win season, 3-win season. We're going to be picking at the top of the draft yet again. But all indications are that Andrew Luck's going to be ready to go. He had a surgery that he decided not to go with, in which case I think it was a smart idea as long as he gets healthy. He's been rehabbing. He's been throwing the football. So nothing major throwing-wise, not throwing down the field very much. But at this point, anything is progress. So if he can just continue to improve, continue to get his arm strength back, continue to get his shoulder back, fixed to where it should be, get him back to 100% by the start of the year, even if that means missing some training camp, missing some preseason. Just getting one-on-one time with Frank Reich, learning that new offensive system. I think Andrew Luck, even though he's put up great numbers before, and he's had a great career up to this point when he's been able to play, I think Andrew Luck is going to have a phenomenal year, an MVP-type season, if he stays healthy. Other than that, guys, that's all I got. Here in Cleveland, I really hope the Browns don't screw this draft up for you. If they go Sam Darnold and Bradley Chubb at 1 and 4, I think they'll be okay. For the Colts, if Bradley Chubb is there at 6, you better take him. If Quentin Nelson's there at 6, please take him. I do not want to trade back anymore. I don't want to trade back with Buffalo to get their 2 late-round picks, even though one of them is around 12, but I don't want their other pick either. I'd rather take the best available player. We need superstar talent. We need Pro Bowl caliber talent, and we need it in here fast. Because Colts Nation, we don't have a whole lot of time left with Andrew Luck. We might have another decade, maybe a little bit longer, but we've already wasted enough time with him as it is. And I don't want the same thing to happen to Andrew Luck as what happened to Peyton Manning, where he never had an offensive line, he never had a running game, he never really had big-time receivers once Marvin Harrison retired. Reggie Wayne was as great as Reggie Wayne is. He's more of a slot guy. He was able to be locked down. So again, I'm hoping they don't make the same mistake with Andrew Luck as they did with Peyton Manning. Other than that, guys, that's all I got. Make sure you hit that like button. Comment, interact with the chat with us. We would absolutely love to get back to your comments. Got to talk to my cousin Cody McCullough. Commented on one the other day. Got to talk to him for a little bit. That was cool. But again, guys, make sure you leave a like on this video. Comment, get some interaction with us. Subscribe for more. Make sure you hit the notification button or the notification bell. That way, you never, ever, ever miss a single episode. And until next time, guys, SkiveWalker signing out. Peace.